righty. I believe we are live indeed. So, hey, you can actually see the monitor in that shot. Oh, well. So, good evening, everyone. It's Ravenhawk 6910 right here, reporting once again. And that is really going to bug me with the monitor, but I do need it. So, oh well, we'll make do. This is the first time trying one of these hobby hangout style live streams. So, we'll make do with what we got. So, what I've got here tonight for y'all are a couple of these Bowser Road Railer kits. And these are the older ones, made in the USA. Always a cool thing. Now, these are former Canadian National cars that were patched out for Triple Crown. So, got a couple of these in, and I'm going to be building them here on stream for you guys. Just thought it would be a fun little idea to do so. So, we'll see how this goes. And, if this works out well, then I'll get a more professional setup than this and try to do some more of these hobby live streams. So let's see who's in the chat. Hello, Railroad Journeys, Dakman Productions, Jess, my boy, you're here. MB Rails, good to see you too. So, who has shown up so far. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Grab my little knife here and just break the seal. Brand new in the box kit, which is pretty rare for these Bowser Road Railers. We'll set this one off to the side for now. I've got 3 of these and already put one earlier today, so I've got the instructions right here. So we will take care of that. There we go. So there's the body. Nothing too special. It's just the body of the car. Hey, Rob, thanks for coming by. Ghost Pine Film Productions. So, let's see. You've got some new stuff to take to Ed's. What exactly is that? Please enlighten me. So there's the sprue with the frame and the tires and everything else. Wheel set. Some parts with screws and the instruction sheet. So we'll get that out of the way here. Would you happen to have a Bowser-powered truck kit for a Corgi trolley? They need to remake those. Let me tell you, I wish I did, because I would have done it to my Pacific Electric PCC car that I reviewed a couple years ago. But let me dump these out here. Just to keep everything in one unified place here. And sorry if you guys can hear my fan right here. It just gets a little stuffy. But that's what happens when you're chubby. All right, so let me go ahead and start snipping some parts off here. Take the frame here. I typically, when I do kits like this, try to not do what I'm doing right now, which is take off a rather large piece. Well, let me just trim that off a little bit there. It'll just be our little secret. All right. That's pretty clean. So, first thing I'm going to do here is get the internal framework, if you will, the supports for the inside of the trailer here. And these one's always on the sprue and one's always off. So, not quite sure what the deal is with that. But if you guys haven't yet, be sure to hit that like button. It really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. So these are going to go right inside of this slot here. And they slide in a bit like that. I've got to do a little bit of trimming here, but so we'll go ahead and take care of that. And then you just glue them in place. And I'm using Citadel plastic cement here. Bit of a high-end glue, but seems to work really well, at least for me. It's meant for building Warhammer miniatures or D&D miniatures. But it seems to work really well for model trains or just models in general. So we'll go ahead and start getting these in place. Let me just clean up its sister here if it needs it. No, this one's actually pretty clean. So, oh, Dak, man, you. Oh, Lordy. Everyone getting my name wrong. So I'm going to take this and glue it in to this part back here. If I can just line it up, there we go. And these will just allow you to screw in the frame to the body. So keep it simple, stupid. Which is nice about these kits. Give me just a second here, guys, and I'll catch up with the chat. There we go. We'll let those dry for a minute. I know what you're building. Triple Crown road railers for your trains. Yes, that is correct. I'll hold it up here for you. But if you can notice here, this is actually a former Canadian National road railer. You can just barely see in the camera the CN logo on the side. How many models do you think you have built? Honestly, I haven't built a large number. I really need to build a lot more because that's just... I enjoy building stuff. I just haven't for one reason or another. These in O-Gauge as well. Yes, they did. They did them first, and then Weaver picked up the believe. So, and now I believe Lionel has that tooling since they got the bulk of the stuff from Weaver. So, the future of the O-Gauge road railers is sort of up in the air right now. Hey, Wabash Rail fan. Hey, Mike. Good to see you there, man. And yes, you are correct. Some road railers still have Conrail marks on them as well. I've seen quite a few of them over the years. Now, oddly... Oh, wait. Hold on. I was just about to... Yep, there it is. I'm an idiot. I was just about to say this thing didn't have a weight, but there it is. Okay. So we'll set that here for the time being. And let me take this little white piece of cardboard out so it won't be playing any more trapdoor tricks on me. So, all right, let's see here. Let me get the tongue off here. And this is what's actually going to connect the trailer to our consist from the front. There. Take one of the larger screws. Then we'll go ahead and get that in place. So whilst I'm working on this tonight, if y'all have something you are working on your workbench, by all means, talk about it in the chat. Let me know what you guys are doing. I'd love to hear about it. I was just talking with Mr. Pictovid a little while ago, and he's working on some 3D printed coupler mounts for his G-scale cabooses. So that's pretty cool. So if you've got an interesting or unique project that you want to share, by all means, talk about it in the chat. So, all right. Got the tongue on there. Now let's go ahead and get the landing legs on. Now, it gives you options for extended ones or not, in case you want to display this in a truck yard instead of run it on a train. However, I want the legs that are retracted because I'm obviously going to operate this. And then we're going to go ahead and get the legs. Have to be very careful clipping these off the screws. So I'm dual watching streams right now. You and Tim the Tat Man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you being able to take some time and watch my stream, too. I mean, I do appreciate it, and you've always been one of my non-trained friends that has taken an interest in the hobby, at least in what I do. So thank you very much for that, Jess. I really appreciate it, bro. let's see. The only project I have going on is converting my Lionel aluminum 18-inch passenger cars over to LEDs and installing people in them. Yeah, you told me about that one, Mike. Kato HOSCO review the Reddit. The Reddit was a jump scare. Yeah, I suppose it was. You know, it's funny. I had that sound file. I recorded that initially as a joke bit for the SD60M Triclops review I did several years ago now. And that sound file had just kind of sat on my computer and did nothing for years. So I dug it back up fairly recently. I think I used it in the Rapido Oh So Steamy review. And it was just really funny to pull that thing back out. So every now and then that will pop back up. So sometimes you'll get the actual disclaimer read, and every once in a while you'll get the read it. But that's obviously not something that's going to happen all the time. So don't want to annoy people to death or deafen everybody with it. Nothing too exciting, but I'll be installing a siding to my Menards factory, or facility rather, excuse me, and then make a 50s station scene, then finally install my Amtrak station. Well, that's really good, Dak, man. You've been telling me a lot on your Amtrak project, and it's going to be interesting to see Amtrak running regularly on your layout. It's definitely been a long time coming. I know you typically run freight trains more than anything, but it'll be nice to see some passenger movements as well. Come on, go in there. Trying not to glue my fingers together while I move these little parts here. Easier said than done, though. Just got done building a curved wood trestle bridge from scratch for my layout. That's pretty cool. Train friend, non-train friend, it's all good. We can. Yes, absolutely. Oh my lord, we need to meet back up at some point and relive some of them old karaoke night memories, Jess. All right, so now that that's on, I'm going to go ahead and put the weight on in the center of the car. Grab my screw. There we go. It helps to have a magnetized screwdriver for stuff like this, but I don't have one that's a flathead at the moment. I need to correct that eventually, but it's one of those things I never really need it until I realize I need it. So, but for the time being, it seems that, you know, it'll work. I'll work just fine without one, at least for now. So there's the weight put into the body, so, or at least onto the frame, excuse me. Okay, next up, we're going to put the steps onto the back of the trailer. Now, for the road railer, again, this one gives you two options on the sprue. There's one right here and one right here. One of these is for the legs to be flipped downwards for when you're doing it as a regular tractor trailer. But when you're doing it as a road railer, you're going to want those to point the opposite direction, so that way you can flip them up for when the coupler is in position. So that's the one we want. I just need to look here and see. I believe it's this one. Let me clip it off here. I call 70s disco karaoke. As soon as I have some spare time, I'd like to finish weathering my third rail CNR Northern. Yeah, I'd like to see you finish that too, and maybe do a video on it on your end. It's been a while since you've done any O-scale videos on your channel, Rob, but it would definitely be a welcome sight. Still fairly new to model railroading. Only locomotive I got working so far is a U-25. All the others I have is a GP38 and two F7s, which don't work, and an L&N shark nose. That's pretty interesting. All right, let me grab this right here. Make sure I grabbed the right part, first of all. Yes, I did. So you see, for this road railer one, the trip pin is supposed to go inside this little hole right here. And the bumper on the back of the trailer flips up. Mr. Pictavid, we were just talking about you a minute ago and your 3D printed couplers. Thanks for stopping by. So what I'm going to do to hold this in place is I'm going to just hold it in here like this, flip it like that, and then I'm going to take my glue and apply it right to these two little holes. Just a tiny dab in there. There we go. And I'll leave that there for just a few minutes. I don't want to have this come loose, although it already has. Just in case y'all think I'm supposed to be an expert on any of this. Okay, I think that, yeah, it's starting to bond in place now. Mr. Pictavid, thank you so much for the $5 sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Keep it up. Yeah, you keep it up too. I really like seeing your 3D modeling that you've been doing. And I was talking with him about this before the stream, but 3D printing has really done so much for model railroading and this hobby in general. It's really amazing if you think about it. Especially with like guys over at K&R Custom Models and their 3D printed signals. I mean, who would have thought 10 years ago that 3D printing would be as big as it was before? Or as it is now, rather, excuse me. You saw CSX 911? That's cool. I haven't seen the 911 in person yet. I haven't seen any of the CSX Pride and Service units yet. I need to get around to doing that eventually. Okay. So now I'm working on assembling the truck, and these have the tiniest screws of this whole set. Let's see, they're that big. So that's pretty small. Ken and Richard make some nice signals. Yes, sir, they do. And they're really nice gentlemen, too. I was actually just on the phone with Richard today, actually. So he's back in Alaska right now, but he's going to be coming back soon. So that'll be nice. I'll have to try to meet up with him once they do. Okay, let me try to get... Now y'all are going to see how blind I am. Let me get this screw and line up these parts. Let's see, I might need a pair of tweezers for this. I don't know if I can find my tweezers. Ah, here we go. Get my little parts grabber here. There we go. That'll work. That was your first time seeing it too? That's really cool. Congrats on catching the 911. I've seen the Norfolk Southern 911 a couple of times at TVRM, but I have not seen the CSX one just yet. Hopefully I will one of these days. Okay, tease it in there. There we go. What I'm working on right here is the framework for the bogie, which is the wheel set that goes on road railers. And let's see, let me get the other screw. Probably should have grabbed this part earlier, to be honest, or this tool. If you can get your hands on one of these things, they're really cheap, but they save a lifetime of pain when it comes to small parts. All right, let me grab my screwdriver and screw this in. And of course, with tiny little parts like this, they put flathead screws on it, of course, so there's no good way to grip it. My carpal tunnel keeps me from building things, especially small things. I used to build Gundams when I was little. Construction has wrecked my hands. Yeah, dude, I'm not looking forward to my inevitable carpal tunnel syndrome that I'll end up with because I know my time's coming eventually. All right, let me get. So, just to show you here, here's the framework right here. And these little pins that are inside of here are what are going to connect to the other road railers in our consist. So, part in, screw that in. Okay, and there we go. Let's see here. Let me tighten that up just a little bit more here. Arthritis at 37? Yay. Yeah, like I said, man, I am almost certain that my time is coming because my grandfather, towards the end of his life, his hands were pretty much like this, you know, from real bad arthritis. So I'm sure that's in my future too, unfortunately. All right, there goes that part. And then let me just flip my little instruction sheet over here to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Okay, we're almost done with this actually. Um, let's see, I should be able to mount this inside the body now. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. So I'll go ahead and just set the frame onto the body. Oops, it would help if I was putting it on the right way. I was trying to put it on the wrong side, putting back to front. There we go. That's starting to fit. I think. Ah, there we go. All right. Put these screws in there, and then we can worry about adding the wheels, the actual truck wheels, to this. Oh, I get it, Jess. My back's been starting to act up on me the last few years, and showing our age and how old we are. I mean, I'm only 29 and I'm still showing this. So, who said being a working man was easy? All right. So we're almost done with this one. The next thing I'm going to do is cut off the tires and the frame for the truck wheels. I just sent one of them flying up onto my shirt. And then we're going to take a couple of small carbon rods that are inside the box here. And we're going to connect them together. Yeah, Mike, you and J Smash there would get along quite well, I'd imagine, because y'all are pretty similar gentlemen. All right, let me get these two tires put together here. All right. And we're going to take the axle here, this little carbon rod, and ever so gently push that through so that they're both on there. And now I'm going to take this first piece that I clipped off and stick it into this top hole. Let me just make sure. I think I've got the instruction sheet on the wrong side here. Yeah, I did. Durr. So that's gonna go right there. And we'll take the second one. And the second rod. There it is. If you guys haven't done it yet, if you're just now coming through the door, be sure to hit that like button for me. It really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. We're building some Bowser Triple Crown road railers tonight in HO scale. Conrail nuts, you have the MTH SD70 Mac Vomit Bonnet. That's really cool. All right, so let me grab the other end of the box. And we'll get this glued in place. What kind of microphone am I using, Mr. Pictovid? I use a ATR 2500 USB microphone that's made by Audio Technica. It's an older microphone that I got back in 2018, but it's worked pretty well for me so far. So I should probably, look for a second one eventually, because I do want to have one to have as a backup in case something happens with this original one. And of course, like if I have guests over or whatever that want to be in a podcast episode or a video, need to be able to record their audio as well. So this one is giving me a little bit more trouble than the first one I built today. Bear with me a second, folks. Come on. All right, let me try getting these out real quick. Add a bit more glue down to here while I'm at it. I'll catch up with the chat in just a minute, y'all, so just bear with me. There we go. There we go. All right, now let me catch you back up with the chat. Can't wait to leave and go down south and bother Sterling in person. Oh, let me tell you how much I love that song. Ugh. You know, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't every drunk karaoke couple's song, or it's either that or the one drunk guy and the female bartender who sing it, you know? And he sings it like crap and she sings it really good. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that one for what it's worth. It's not a bad song. It's just one of those songs you hear at karaoke and it's just like, this again. All right. So getting these last sets of tires on here, and then this car will be done. So, and then we'll probably just go ahead and wrap up for the evening. and I'll just build the other car on the side. So, the last person I know that visited Sterling was Dakman. Then Sterling had to move, so he couldn't find him again. Oh, Lordy. No, I am seriously glad that he came. It was sort of a last minute thing that he ended up in my place for the large scale show, but hey ho, it worked out well in the end. And speaking of working out, there is our completed road railer. Pretty cool. I just need to get a whole lot more of these over time. So, but anyways, yeah. Oh, I almost forgot a part. I need to put on the mud flap on the back of the wheels. I am not done at all. Excuse me. Let's get that mud flap glued in place here. There we go. Sitting in the background listening. All joking aside, Sean, it was really cool to have you over as a guest. That was a time that I really needed friends over, so I do appreciate you coming by. Just stop talking about Dak Man, he's here. Oh, dude, if you do that, I'll go up there and sing that with you. I love that song, actually. So, looks like I might need to tighten up a couple more of these screws on the bogie on the back, but other than that, this car is ready for service. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, hopefully, I'll have a few more of these. I've got 6 road railers now that I have, this one and then this one that I haven't built yet. But we will deal with that later. So, but anyways, guys, I really appreciate y'all coming out to the first hobby hangout live stream that I've been able to do. And if you guys liked it, please let me know in the comments section after the show winds down here what y'all liked about it, what y'all didn't like about it, and things you might want me to change, and if you might want me to do this in the future. Because I really like just sitting down and building kits, and sometimes it's nice to uh, just sit down and do stuff and maybe show you guys what I'm doing at the same time. So, in the meantime, I'm going to wrap the stream up here. So, thank you guys so much for showing up. And we want more. Yeah, I understand that, but this has just been a test run. We'll do a longer one a little later. And going to be working on a video here soon of this thing. Ooh, brass. So be on the lookout for that coming up very soon. So I will see you guys in the next video, whichever that may be. So thank you guys so much for watching, and this is Ravenhawk 6910 signing off.